was diagnosed with lymphoma last August. Lymphoma is basically a blood cancer that affects the cells of our lymphatic system. I was at stage 2 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. At the age of 25, to receive such life-changing news is just really scary. I felt like my whole world was silenced. Everything stopped around me. There was just so many times where I'd go back and forth and question whether this was real. Being at my peak, I was ambitious and really excited for everything that was planned out for me. And because of that, I just felt like cancer was going to take away everything from me. And I was just not ready to accept all of that. For months, I had tubes attached to me for my treatment. And because of that, it made it very difficult to do common things like changing my clothes, taking a shower, walking freely. And there would be days where I would be bedridden because of the fatigue and the body aches. I mean, I used to be such an independent person, and all of a sudden I cannot do these simple things. It was physically exhausting, but it was also a mental struggle every day. The biggest struggle for me was self-love and acceptance. I was just not ready for cancer to take away my hair, my identity. I wasn't ready to feel ugly, so low, and no matter how positive I tried to be, I was in self-denial. In between treatments, I would go out for walks to get some fresh air, and I noticed that people stare at me. They probably, pity me. And that made me very self-conscious because as a girl, I also want to look good for myself. And just the other day, I bumped into 3 of my old friends and I wasn't wearing a scarf, and we were talking and I noticed they just could not focus on my eyes. They were looking at my head, and I thought it was a bit funny, but I think it's all about being comfortable in our own selves. So with or without hair, I just had to own it. My mom is my biggest supporter. Throughout chemo, she had a way of making everything seem so light. There would be days where I just, I couldn't look at the mirror, and she was there, just making fun, saying, "Oh, you're not ugly, you're my aboy," the son she never had. So all in all, she was really the only person who never left my side. And for that, I really love her. Right now, I am still recovering, but I am very happy to be able to do a lot more things and be less dependent on others. I realized that life is going to be very different for me. It's going to take a few months or even years for me to build myself up again. But that's okay, one day at a time. Cancer has taught me how to be grateful for each day that I get and for everyone that I have in my life. When we're young, we think we're invincible. But when something like this happens, we see how life is so unpredictable. So it is important to realize how precious each day is and to never take it for granted.